Hey, it is an unstoppable day. It's your boy, Terrance, the Unstoppable Coach Leftridge, coming to you live with another episode of the Unstoppable Story Show with Terrance Leftridge. Happy Tuesday. Come on in, swipe and share. Come on in as we start this wonderful episode of the Unstoppable Story Show, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. I know you could be anywhere else in the world on a Tuesday night, and I'm so glad that you decided to be here. Let me just get a second, make sure that we are coming through loud and clear. And if you are hearing me loud and clear, go ahead and put some information in the room. Just let us know that you are listening, that you are watching from wherever you are in the world. I love this broadcast with BeLive TV. BeLive TV lets you do a wide range of different things on the broadcast. And, I like to try new technology. So being able to see this stuff in action and watch what's going on is just a fabulous thing. So shout out to Justin. Hey, Justin, come on in. Justin, tell us where you are hearing us or watching the show from. I've seen you on Facebook. We are Facebook friends, and I'm so glad that you are joining the broadcast. But let the rest of the Unstoppable Stories Nation know where you are watching this broadcast from. Got a great show for you this evening. Have a phenomenal knock it out the park guest on tonight. She's doing great things. Love her to life and beyond. And she's going to share with you tonight some of the great things that she has going on, some of the unstoppable things she has going on. So hopefully you will show her some love. Yolanda Carter, hey, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining the broadcast. Thank you for showing up. Justin, he is watching from Chicago. Cool. And Yolanda, you are here, so thank you. Yolanda knows our guest that we have on tonight, and Yolanda's got a great book coming up, launched in 2018, real soon. I know I've said that a couple of times on the show, but we are getting there. And can't wait for that book to drop. We'll talk a little bit about that. Hey, Devin Johnson, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the broadcast. You guys could be anywhere else in the world tonight, as I said before, but I'm so glad that you have decided to come in on the Tuesday night and join some of this quality programming that we have on the internet via BeLive TV. I'm Terrance, the Unstoppable Coach Leftridge with Unstoppable Coaching Services, where we help you create your vision, implement your vision, and hold you accountable to living the life not that you want to live, but the life that you were created to live. And we got to realize that is not always the same thing. The things we want to do aren't always the things that we are supposed to be doing, the things that we were birthed to be doing. That purpose that was created for us in life. And too many times we spend a lot of our life just going through the motions, trying to find those things that we think we want instead of searching for those purposes. And that's why the Unstoppable Story Show is so important, because we let ordinary, everyday people come on the show, share their purpose, talk about their causes, talk about the things that are important to them and what they are doing to live their life on the next level. And they tell you how they got to where they are right now, not just so you can see them in their present state, but that you can know what they had to go through. And I've said it many times before on the show, sometimes you've got to go through in order to grow through. And being able to grow through and showing other people that are going through it behind you that if they made it, then you can make it too. That's what this show is all about. And we've got one of those people with us tonight. We've got the great Kandi, KCBizboss Conda. She is the CEO of Life After Sports, which is a global sports workshop series where professional athletes motivate student athletes to enable their plan B. Now, that's just one of the things she's doing, but I'd be on here all night telling you all the other things that she's doing. So I'd much rather just go ahead and bring her into the broadcast and let her introduce herself to you. So we are going to be welcoming to the show my friend, my buddy, my Chi-Town homegirl, who ain't in Chi-Town no more, but that's a whole nother conversation. Welcome to the broadcast, KCBizboss, Kandi Conda. Hey, Kandi.
Well, hello. I just got off a plane, just got here. And when I say just for real, I mean just got out of Uber 3 minutes ago. Okay.
Which say earlier, just by the skin of your chinny chin chin.
Just by the skin of my chinny chin. So yeah, I'm trying to see where I can get in the camera a little bit more. So I hope everybody can see me. But so as you guys know, I started out with KCBizboss Entertainment, which basically is our branding and consulting arm. And the fact that I'm a Hall of Famer, we don't have enough time on the show for this.
Right.
I am an African American Hall of Famer in women's pro basketball, which, by the way, I got to shout out our league that nobody knew about, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago.
Right.
Now we have the documentary, The Vision, has won at least 6 different cities to include an upcoming showing in Las Vegas in, I think it's August 20th. And also they were just invited to fill out the requirements for the Smithsonian African American History in DC. So our league is owned by an African American male. So Lightning Ned Mitchell, I want to shout out the WBA is not going down without a fight. We were the pioneers of women's pro basketball that you guys know today. So yes, so that's awesome. The Vision, the book, and the documentary is doing big things. But as a Hall of Famer, I wanted to give back. I wanted to do something different in sports because I noticed that even now there are 100 million different leagues, but all of these people, everybody want that same carrot. But then what happens if you don't get the carrot? And I hear all those stories, everything from a parent who has a kid that had a concussion and can't play anymore, or a parent that has lost a child through suicide who got their dream to go in the NFL, got in the NFL, then got cut, and then end up killing themselves. And I'm like, how do we reverse this? And the only way to do that is we've got to start earlier. We got to start with education. Education is the key. So that's when Life After Sports was born. And the whole goal here is to get to these athletes by using pro athletes, reaching back. And we have Life After Sports now all over the country. We did 10 last year. And then, the goal is to have these athletes reach back and say, hey, there's more to life than this. Make sure you have your plan B. Understand social media. And if you mess up with social media, how that can take your scholarship away. Now interject Big Baller Brand, who is having this Junior Baller Association, right? So now if these kids are plucked out of give up for whatever reason a Division I basketball scholarship, or they decide to go to Junior Baller Association, no shade to Big Baller Brand, but if they get plucked out, they lose their eligibility and they can't go back. Now they got to pay for their education. So trying to make sure that these young people, everybody's going after the carrot, making sure that they understand what's at the end of the carrot, what it is that they're actually going for.
I love it. We're talking to Kandi Conda, KCBizboss, as she is affectionately known. And Casey, you have been doing this a long time. I mean, we talked about the brand. We talked about the WBA that you are a part of. We talked about you being a Hall of Famer, but you also were a mompreneur, and I always get it messed up, but a mom manager. So you've been dealing with children. Right. You've been dealing with children and their parents for a long time, and now you've married the two together to help these student athletes recognize that there's more to life after sports. So tell me, how did that really start to take over as your current purpose over all the other things that you were doing and you were doing successfully?
Well, of course, I had a template to use from, which is my daughter. And it's interesting when we use the word celebrity kid, because a lot of people, when you say celebrity kid, to some people, that just means your kid's on TV and I can recognize your kid by name. But in my case, I did, my daughter, we came up with other celebrity moms that were at our events at the Demi Lobo Most Talented Under 12. There's a lot of Chicago moms that actually, their kids came up under Demi. Some of them came up as peers to Demi. For instance, Jeremiah. He's one great example. Me, his mom are really close. You guys see Jeremiah's doing big things. Demi was on the radio at WGCI. As far as Chicago goes, that you are a celebrity if you're on the radio here. So then she goes and, we built this great brand that we were actually able to charge $1,000 per appearance before she left Chicago. Then she went to LA and, she's on the radio there, but she's built this DJ brand, which again, we're still using the same brand. The same brand is music. The same brand is good service. The same brand is entertainment, but she just flipped it a little bit, and still, instead of being behind the mic in the DJ in the radio station, she's behind the mic as a DJ and providing music. So I want to segue for just a minute to show you how important building a brand is, and that's what I'm working with these athletes, even in high school, to teach their parents. You got to build a brand. You need a foundation of some kind. If you get cut tomorrow, you need to know what else is out here. Entrepreneurship, writing a book, whatever it is. And my daughter, oh my goodness gracious, in the last 6 months, DJ for Macy's, DJ for Nordstrom, just picked up Neiman Marcus, Adidas, Big Baby Glenn Davis, the athlete, Lil Rel from Chicago did his birthday party, just did Ava DuVernay's new production company, just did Mona Scott Young on Tuesday, her new book. I'm not going to name drop y'all to death. The point of it is about the brand. If you build a brand, they will come, but you got to build the brand. You got to make it so they think there is nobody else. So it's to the point now when people come to Hollywood and say, who's the top female DJ? Her name comes up automatically. And that's what you want to do.
And you don't name drop to impress upon our audience. You name drop to let them know how the struggle began and what you had to go through to get to that point. And it's very similar. It's very similar to what I talk about and what I coach my clients when I talk about the Unstoppable coaching brand. More people call me Mr. Unstoppable than they call me by my first name now. And that's because we put in the work to put that brand out there so that brand speaks for itself. And that's the same thing that you're doing with Demi Lobo. And that's the same thing that you're doing with the Life After Sports brand. Is that correct?
Correct. Absolutely. It's the same model. And hopefully, and let me say this to you, it's working. I don't advertise. I do not advertise. I got clients in Las Vegas. I got clients in Chicago. I got clients in New Jersey. I do not advertise. People pick up the phone or they come to me through Facebook or they find me on Instagram. I do not advertise. And that's when the brand is working. I'm not saying that I'm making millions of dollars. I'm just saying I don't have to keep pounding people with, I do this. I build brands. I just don't do that anymore, which is great. Not that I ever had to do it that hard, but.
Well, you brought up an important point right there. So let me ask you this. If the brand isn't automatically making $1 million, does that mean the brand isn't working? And I think that's an important answer for the youth that we're talking to or that will be watching this broadcast. What do you say to that?
It's important for the youth. It's important for the entrepreneurs that we know.
Okay.
Because you can have a successful brand and not be making $1 million, but that don't mean you're starving. Okay, so success means different things to different people. I feel I'm successful when I'm getting phone calls from where people just say I need you. I got a Facebook message a couple of days saying I need you. I got two. I got one well-known person calls me up and say, hey, I need your momager expertise. I want to hire you to consult with me. I got another call yesterday. I'm in the music industry. I need you. I get that call a lot. To me, that is success. Being able to help another person Yes, the $1 million of the big money will come. I mean, I can even give you a better example. So, Life After Sports, I started it in my head about 3.5 years ago. Physically, we started the very first one, December 3rd, 2016 in Atlanta. And then all through 2017, we did different Life After Sports in Las Vegas and New Jersey and Chicago and different places. Well, my goal when I first wrote this out, my ultimate plan was to work side by side with pro athletes. So I had to put the work in. If I wanted to be with pro athletes, I had to be around pro athletes. So you guys see me. I'm at NFL Super Bowl week for a week networking, doing things for my clients, but networking harder. I'm at NBA All-Star Week. What happened? One of the NFL parents said, "We see you all the time. We see what you're doing. We want you to come and be a part of our event coming up. You'll do Life After Sports the day before we start our NFL camp." And, they were like, "How much do you charge?" We worked the money out. And it's amazing. I'm excited because this is really what I wanted to be doing. And so we're doing Life After Sports, and I don't have to sign up nary a student. The sports department is taking care of that. I just have to show up with the Life After Sports program the day before they start their NFL camp. There's going to be 7 NFL players. The day after that, they're going to be serving 1,200 kids. The registration will open and close, and totally be full of 1,200 kids within 7 hours. 7 to 12 hours, everybody will be signed up. When they open up the registration, it closes the same day.
I love it. We're talking with Kandi, KCBizboss, Conda on the Unstoppable Story Show. Come on, swipe and share. Like this broadcast. We've got Yolanda Carter in the house saying hello to everyone. We've got
Hey, Yolanda.
We got D. Lynn, entrepreneur, in the house. We've got Sandra Diego in the house saying hello to us. Hey, thank you guys. We've got Lady Rochelle Dotson Matheny saying hello. So come on, you guys, keep on swiping and sharing. Let's segue just a little bit. Let's talk about purpose, because I just released the book called Moving from Past to Purpose, a collaborative book with 7 other authors here, and they all talk about how they are walking in their purpose, and you are clearly walking in your purpose. But we all have had a past, and where you are right now is not where you were in your past. So how did you move from your past into walking into your purpose now?
Well, I didn't do anything illegal though, Terrance. I mean, you sound like I did something illegal. You had a pass.
Well, well, if the shoe fits,
girl. You did some things. You did some things in your life. No, I think for me, I have always been an entrepreneur. When I left the military, I said to myself, I'm leaving a retirement behind to start my own business. So always I've wanted to start my own business, and I've always stayed in my lane, which was entrepreneurship, writing books, came out the womb writing books, doing things of that nature. So I kind of have always, even though I've tried different things, I kind of had this one lane that I stayed in. And you know how we always say to people, oh, do what you love and the money will follow.
Yes.
That really does happen. But we don't trust the process. We don't trust the process, because while we're driving in this lane, we got the Porsche speeding by and the Ferrari speeding by, and our friend who has the little young entrepreneur that's doing what we're doing, and you see her on TV and you feel like, oh my God, I'm doing the wrong thing. I have had to coach my daughter off the ledge many times with this very thing. It's kind of like, okay, all right, I just had 10 engagements, but I'm bored today. I'm scared. Something's not working. I need to do something else. We got to get away from that. We got to get off the ledge, talk ourselves down from the ledge, find something else to keep you busy, but that's still sending you further or putting you further. You got to have that will to win. I have a will to win. I have a winning attitude. And if you have that winning attitude and you know that you want to win, you will find a way. Sometimes you have to I've called you many a times. I've called other people and say, okay, here's what I'm doing, but I need to change some things. I mean, sometimes you just got to make that phone call. It doesn't mean that you're not successful. It just means that sometimes you need someone else that's looking from a bird's eye view and can see what you can't see. But that does not mean that you're not winning. That does not mean that you're not successful. And like I said yesterday, I put that quote up on Facebook yesterday that said, just because things aren't going according to plan, God just hasn't got around to your schedule yet. But he's coming.
Yes. Or you just haven't been aware that it ain't about your schedule to begin with. It was about his plan. And that's something that I was talking about at the beginning before we brought you in. Many times we're chasing that proverbial rabbit, and that rabbit ain't for us. We're supposed to be over here doing this other thing. And then when we find out that it's not working right, that's only then we will decide to look in a different direction. And
absolutely.
That's kind of what we talked about in the book, from our past to purpose. Our past had us chasing the wrong things until we recognized what our purpose was. You were working in the military. I was working in corporate America. But I'll just speak for myself. I know I wasn't fulfilled. I was so unfulfilled that I started thinking more about what I wanted to do next as opposed to what I should have been doing then. And I ended up getting shown the door. But if I hadn't got shown the door in the past, I wouldn't be walking in my purpose right now. If you hadn't stepped out of your military career in your past and showed that faith and hope that this was going to work for you, then we wouldn't be talking to the African American Hall of Famer right now like we are on the Unstoppable Story Show, right?
And let me tell you this one thing. Those that are watching that are very close to me know this, but I'm going to tell this to everybody. I woke up on a particular day this year after feeling for the last year that I needed to
I think we might be losing your feed. Kandi, she just got in by the skin of her chinny chin chin, and now, she's got an iPhone, so you know how I feel about the iPhone. So, Kandi, what we're going to do is we're going to drop you down back into the Unstoppable Coaching Green Room, reset yourself, and then we'll come back up. So we are it's the Unstoppable Story Show, live streaming at its best, talking to ordinary people with extraordinary, unstoppable stories. So let's see. We're going to refresh the screen, bring her back up from the green room. She probably just liked the shrimp that was down there, and she just wanted to go get another bite. Mic check. Kandi, are you back?
Am I back?
Yeah, stop hanging out in the green room. I know I got good food down there.
So I wanted to say that the people that are really close to me know this. So last year, I kind of felt like I needed one more big push and I needed a change. And I said to myself, I'm getting ready to do something really crazy right now. And when I decided I was going to do this, everybody thought that I had lost my mind. They were ready to, they thought I was having a midlife crisis. My father was like, I'm going to have you committed. Something's wrong with you. What's going on? Because I said, I'm moving out of town. So everybody was like, well, how can you move out of town? I said, I'm moving. And everybody thought I was going to move to LA because my daughter lives in LA. But there's all these sports teams moving into Vegas, and I wanted to be there and put my life after sports parallel with these new teams and grow my company with them. Okay. Now here's the shout. I woke up on one day and I called these guys that helped me do lightweight work around my house and told them to put everything in my house outside in the alley. Everything. They were like, huh? Everything?
Everything.
The bed, the couch, the bikes. They were like, well, what about Goodwill? Clothes had tags on them, brand new. They were like, what? They said, wait a minute, you're not going to call Goodwill? You're not going to. I said, if Goodwill wants this stuff, then Goodwill had better be in that alley because that's where it's going to be at. The refrigerator took the door. When I said I didn't call a dumpster. I told them to put everything in the back that day, that moment. And I moved right here into my dad's house in the spare bedroom in the back. I said, I'm staying here until I move to Vegas. I didn't want to have no excuses. I didn't want to have no reason to stay. I didn't want nobody to talk me out of it. And they still thought my dad was like, are you well? Are you okay? Are you sure? Yep, I am sure. And I worked it out, and I said, I'm leaving in 6 weeks. And when I booked that plane ticket and they picked up my car from outside, he knew I was serious. The day I got on the plane, he was still like, you sure you leaving? For real? I'm like, absolutely, because this is what I want to do. I want to change. I want something new and fresh. And let me say this, the moment I stepped in Vegas, I've met with I don't play around. I don't know about the rest of the people. I don't have time to try to tell people what to do. But I tell you what I did. I met with the Las Vegas Aces since I've been there last week. I already had a couple of book clients. I have already just got signed on to do another book for a whole organization. We booked 3 Life After Sports in Vegas. And I've been there since May 9th, as they say about the president. And that's the last 2 weeks. So I don't know about anybody else, Terrance. I don't know what everybody else doing.
But you know what you're gonna do, and that's what it's all about. Sometimes, in order to be unstoppable, you've got to test your limits. You've got to test. You've got to go against the grain. You've got to, like you said, you have to have that push, that thing that makes you get energized, that thing that makes you wake up in the morning, that thing that says, come hell or high water, you are going to have and do what it is you want to do. And that's
I had people say Vegas is too hot. Vegas is hot. But guess what? I'm on a coin counting mission. I don't have time to worry about the weather.
And what the heat got to do with it anyway?
You know what I'm saying? Do with it anyway. And then there's that part.
And so let's really break down a little bit what you just said about throwing all your stuff in the alley, moving into your dad's house because you didn't want to have any more excuses. When I say to you, many people are stopped in life because of the excuses. What do you say to that?
I say that excuses should be just it should be you should be parking your life and using that as work ethic, as motivation. But I do understand that I'm cut from a different cloth. I saw Draymond Green after the championship, and everybody was so hard. Oh, we can't stand Draymond Green. He plays dirty, all that. He said, "I'm just cut the way I'm cut. I'm cut to play hard. I'm cut to go to the wall. I'm cut, and I'm just cut that way." And that's the way I feel. And we're not all cut the same. We are not all. I was like, you know what? I'm stealing that, Draymond. We're not all cut the same. I wish we were, but we're not. And my dad was like, "Oh my God, I hate to see you on the road for a month." It is what it is. I'm enjoying life. I don't want to look back and say what I wish I could have, should have did. I don't want to be that person. If it's something I want to do, I'm gonna go with all the gusto that I want. And like I said, if that means packing up the trailer, so many people have told me on Facebook, I motivated them. I was talking to Casey Camp, who's getting ready to move to Atlanta. She was like, "Oh my God, when I saw that you did that, that motivated me to know that I want to move to Atlanta." And I've talked to 5 or 6 different people that are like, "You motivated me to move. I've been wanting to move, but I've been scared to move." So sometimes it's about you, God putting you in position to help other people or motivate other people.
Exactly. And you're watching the Unstoppable Story Show with Terrance Leftridge and our guest, Kandi KCBizboss Conda, African-American Hall of Famer and the CEO of Life After Sports. We're going to get into what's happening here in Chicago this weekend in just a second. But, when I think of you, Kandi, I think of the quote that says, "Live full, die empty." I met you in that park many moons ago now.
Funny.
You were living full. You had your table set up. You had all your books out there. You were doing the dang thing that day. And every time I meet you, you are doing something on the next level. You are doing something that is not only extraordinary, but you're doing something that nobody else is doing. And that's what I appreciate about you. You have that energy and that purpose that allows you to live full and die empty. But I bet that probably had to coach some people, or you've probably had to counsel some people that just didn't understand what it meant to live full and die empty. So tell me, what do you say to those people that just can't seem to understand that concept?
Set the bar. You got to set the bar high for yourself, because if you're sitting around and if you're one of those people that always think that everybody is moving faster than you and doing more than you, that's really because you're not setting the bar for your own potential. You're being stagnant whether you realize it or not. And a lot of us do it because it's easy to do. It's the easy way out. But you can't take the easy way out, because like everything is moving so fast now. Technology is moving fast. Social media is moving fast. And you're going to look up and see the 12-year-old lemonade girl. You're going to be working for her. If you don't get up off the couch and do what you need to do, you got to set the bar high and then set it higher. And then you got to keep on moving the bar. When the bar moves, you got to move with it.
Oh, and I love that you just said that, the 12-year-old girl selling the lemonade, because the kids, they are really doing it. Just in this year alone, I've met a 15-year-old who has started her own lip balm line. I met a 17-year-old who started her own dessert making, thousands of dollars, and selling it in grocery stores locally and across the country. I already knew a 22-year-old who started her baking business here in Chicago when she was 17 without any experience. So our young people, they are fearless, and they are really taking advantage of the opportunities that are out there. And that's what I love about what you're doing with Life After Sports, because back in the day, that's all, especially the males, and especially the African-American males, that's the only thing that they were tuned into. I'm going to go to school, and I'm going to play sports, and I'm going to get this scholarship, and then I'm going to be in the NBA or the NFL or Major League Baseball, and I'm going to be set. Only to realize that less than 5% make it to that epitome, that mountaintop of Major League sports. So
even NFL players, the average playing time is only 3 years in the NFL. That's why they call it not for long.
So tell us, what is the major platform for Life After Sports, and what are you wanting these student athletes to walk away from with your workshops in the different cities that you go to?
So of course, Life After Sports is this Saturday, June 30th at Apostolic. On 41st and King Drive, Dr. Finney's church. And we're it's in two parts, by the way. First part is the Meet the Pros, which is the two educational panels where we talk about everything from social media to getting into college. And, we say educational, but just information, actually. You get to talk to coaches, pro players, and basically understand where you're trying to go with your sport. What is it that you're trying to do? What's your plan B? Learn about your social media, learn about how to get college scholarships, all of that. Learn about entrepreneurship and entrepreneur endeavors, and what do these players do after they've completed their time in the NBA and NFL. We have Dr. Earl King, who one of the few PhDs I think it's one of 5 PhDs that has retired from the NBA. Last year we had Dr. Walton, who was like one of the second 5 of those guys. And like I said, we have NFL players, sports physicians, the whole thing, just giving you a taste or a snapshot of other businesses, ventures, and things that you can do before, during, and after sports. And then in Chicago, we're having a 3-on-3 tournament. We've got about 3 more team spots open in both divisions, 10 through 13 and 14 through 17. So if you got any kids out there, you guys want to play, we do have, like I said, we're giving away cash prizes this Saturday. But yes, basically it's just everything you need to know before, during, and after sports. Entrepreneurial ventures, the whole 9.
So it sounds like it's going to be a great event. I was pleased to be a part of your event here last year that you had here in Chicago. And now you've been to Vegas, you've been to Chicago. Where else have you had the Life After Sports workshops?
We've had Atlanta, Vegas twice, Chicago, New Jersey. I'm missing somewhere else. I named Atlanta, and it was one other city. But we did 10 of them last year. Some of them were duplicates. Oh, we did NBA All Star. We did LA, and one other place. But we did in the NBA All Star Week in Los Angeles as well.
So I'm curious to hear, what are some of the pro athletes saying about the program that you put together? And then what are some of the takeaways the kids are coming back and telling you about after being a part of your program?
Well, what I think has been the biggest, most impact is that the players have been able to let these students know that sports is a vehicle. It is not the vehicle, it is a vehicle. Because the average kid that's coming from the south side or west side of Chicago, they're thinking, I am the best thing since sliced bread. When I get there, that's it. So it's a couple of things. One, they're learning that this is a vehicle, not the only vehicle, and that they could get hurt. And if they do get hurt or they get a concussion, here are some things that you can do. You can still be a sports attorney. You can still be in sports therapy. Make sure you get your education so that you don't have to come back and try to get your education many, many years later. Get it now while you're young. You know what you want to do. So just God forbid something happens or things just don't go according to plan, that it's not over. Because we've met so many athletes, they figure if they cannot bounce that ball or they cannot throw that ball, life is over. And that's what we kind of give them the positive and show them other athletes that are doing, the Magic Johnsons and other athletes who have turned their love for sports into entrepreneurship ventures, and they're still making $1 million and doing what they love.
Great, fabulous. So you're going to have the 3-on-3 basketball. You're also going to have the workshop this weekend. And tell them again where it's going to be at and how they can get more information or even get to the event if it's not too late. Because I know your events, they sell out quick, Kandi.
Yes, and we do have anyone that's on the show that is interested. If there's a mom who wants to bring her kids, we do have 4 free tickets that you can raffle off or put on your page. It starts at 10:30. We do have some vendors as well at 41st and King Drive, and that's Metropolitan Apostolic Church, Dr. Leon Finney's church. It's going to be on the 2nd floor, and it's going to start promptly at 10. The 3-on-3 tournament starts at noon or 12:30, and that is a $25 registration fee, and they can go on www.lifeaftersports.biz or 3on3. I'll put those links in 3on3.eventbrite.com.
And we're posting the flyer on the video screen right now so people can see the Life After Sports Chicago video you're going to have some great speakers. You're going to have
Were you able to get the 3-on-3 flyer? I didn't send that to you.
No, I wasn't able to pull it up, and I saw it on your page, but I wasn't able to pare it down and pull it up to this event. But definitely we will be putting it in the replay so that people can get that information as well. But Kandi, that's not the only thing you're doing this weekend.
No, that's not. Well, you saw Devin in here. Devin is the sponsor of the Influence Me Tour. So we have
Devin.
The Influence Me Tour, and the concept behind Influence Me, and you and I have talked about this a long time ago, is having other speakers that are influencers in a particular genre. And this weekend it's going to be entertainment, radio, TV, for people that want to start their own entertainment blog, radio, TV. This is where they should be. We also have Stretch. He's also a former Harlem Globetrotter. Also, I was hoping that he was going to be a Life After Sports, but he also owns a bar himself. So he'll be talking about having a bar, entertainment, how he transitioned from sports into entrepreneurship. And it's like I said, it's really focusing on media, film, TV, blogs.
Okay, so and the Influence Me, that the whole title just fascinates me. What are you hoping to have as a takeaway for people who show up on that event on Sunday? How do you want to influence them, and how in turn do you want them to go out and influence others?
So with the Influence Me, we put together a strong team of people that are influencers in their own right, and all of them have really big resumes. So we're hoping that we have two panels and brunch, by the way. Brunch is included, everybody. Full brunch is included. We want them to walk away. For instance, we have Carlos. I can't think of Carlos's last name right now. You have that flyer. You know, Carlos does his own radio show, his own live stream show online, and he's got thousands of followers. We want people to be able to walk away and start their own live stream show, walk away understanding about marketing, walking away learning how do you have your own brick and mortar business. It's not easy to run a bar and grill. We know that. Restaurants are one of the hardest. So here's a former Harlem Globetrotter now switching from being in athletics to being in the entertainment field, because we in the entertainment field. And so we want people to, whatever it is that they need, they will be able to get it. You know, of course, I'll be there as well. Same thing. So all of these influencers, and this is in the Waukegan Lake Bluff area, we want people to be able to walk away and start their business or have enough information that they can actually get going. They can get off the ground. Like, again, I'm talking about setting that bar, because I don't want anybody to say we did it. Oh my God, you know, there's definitely going to be takeaways here. We can, you know, from, like I said, from media to entertainment to blogs to consulting to branding, the whole 9 yards. You can start your business from soup to nuts.
Great information. Hey, it's the Unstoppable Story Show, and we are hanging out with Kandi, KCBizboss, Conda, and I just love what she's doing with Life After Sports. I love what she's doing with Influence Me. But the other thing that I continue to love about Kandi is that, you know, she'll probably take it the wrong way, but she's a sucker for a good cause. And she is helping another wonderful woman here in the Chicagoland area get her message out to the masses. Our great friend Yolanda Carter has a great book coming out, and Kandi helped her create this book, and it's going to launch real soon. So Kandi, go ahead and talk a little bit about One Eyewitness. That's the name, the title of the book, right?
It is One Eyewitness, yes. So I don't know how many people actually saw the WGN special that I think was on the 1st of May, maybe the last couple of days of April. And it shared the account of a domestic violence victim who Yolanda Carter is. She was here earlier in the Unstoppable Stories. And she lost her eye due to a domestic violence incident. So we titled the book One Eyewitness because her son was her one and only eyewitness to this. And of course, she now is with one eye, beautiful eye patches, which we'll be selling on the website very soon. So make sure you guys get your pop culture eye patch, or get it for somebody who may need it, however y'all want to do it. Somebody just might have a little small scratch on the eye. But the whole book is not just a book about Yolanda's story. It's a more of a memoir and a self-help book. We have covered everything from the story, which recently her accuser has finally settled the case, and we're not going to tell you guys. We want y'all to get the book and find out. And so yes, his jail portion and all that is just recently settled. And I was going to tell you guys, but I want y'all to get the book. The other part of this book that is so unique and so important for every domestic violence victim, abuser, you're not sure if you're an abuser, you're not sure if you're the victim. We have covered everything in this book, from bullying to suicide to legal maneuvers, everything you need. We have 25 myths about domestic violence, and we break down isolation. What does that mean? What is physical? What does verbal abuse mean? All of financial abuse. What does all of this mean? And we broke it down in such a way that it's not boring. Each chapter still shares a little bit of Yolanda's story in it. It is 8 pages of color photos in this book.
Wow.
To include the actual photos that Yolanda endured upon her right prior to her surgery. So this action totally packed with everything, all the information that you will need to know about her story, but to also understand domestic violence in total.
And it's important for us to understand that in this day and age, because unfortunately, like shootings and like murders and some of the other things that the media just inundates us with on a daily basis, we become so numb to it. It's like another story of domestic violence. Okay,
Right.
what's the other? Or another story of domestic violence. Okay, can we get to the sports? But we really need to understand that domestic violence is something that touches everybody at some point, whether it's you personally, whether it's your family, whether it's friends, whether it's people that you may meet at another point in life. And I thank God that I've got a chance to meet Yolanda Carter after the fact, because if not for the patch and if not for hearing the story, I wouldn't have known what she went through, because she has such a powerful transcending personality. She doesn't live in the past of her domestic violence. She lives in the present of being a
Right.
positive,
Absolutely.
motivating force for everyone around her. And
And I saw No, I was saying I saw you had a show on suicide. It's the same thing. I just saw a mom on Facebook who put up a story about her 14-year-old daughter that committed suicide from bullying. And that's why we also included bullying in the book, because all these types of violence are interrelated and interconnected. A lot of women that suffer domestic violence end up committing suicide because they don't feel like they have a will to live. A lot of domestic violence victims are one step away, like Yolanda, one more hit with that hammer and she would not have lived, the doctor said. So we need to keep continuing to educate. We need to educate. And that's why we are going on a national tour as soon as the book is done, and national media tour as well. And not to glorify what happened, but to educate, so that if one other person is saved by this, then our work is done.
yes, absolutely. So definitely be on the lookout for the book One Eye Witness by Yolanda Carter, with the help of Kandi, KCBizboss, Conda. Hey, so as we're coming down to the end of the show, again, you're doing so many different things in your life. But here's the question that I just love to ask every one of my guests. And it's a simple question. And it's just simply, what does it mean to you when you hear the word unstoppable?
For me, when I hear the word unstoppable, I think that you slay the world, that nothing gets in your way, that you steam past every stumbling block that is possibly that someone puts in front of you, that for every no, you turn it into a yes by any means necessary. When I hear unstoppable, I think that unstoppable means that you take the world, you take everything you've learned, and you just, like I said, steamroll over everything, and you just have tunnel vision, and you keep going forward no matter what. That you don't even look at what's going on. You only look forward. Forward steam ahead. Full steam ahead. That's what unstoppable means to me.
I love it. Just like a
And it's
local
every
coach.
day. It's every day. It's not
Oh,
certain.
yeah.
It's not only on Tuesdays and not only on Wednesdays. It's every day.
Oh yeah, I love it. Like a locomotion, you're gonna keep moving forward, and some people gonna have to get out the way. So I appreciate you, and like I said earlier, you are that unstoppable person. You are one of the unstoppable people in my life, and I'm so glad that you came into my life, and I'm so glad that we have formed a friendship, both personal and business relationship that is a win-win for both of us.
And
And
tell your wife, I want to be on the next cruise. I'm tired of y'all leaving me.
and I will tell my wife that you need some more stuff to get booked for all the things. You got a national tour with Yolanda, you've got a Influence Me tour, you've got the Life After Sports events. So yeah, there's plenty of room for SNL travel to service your travel needs. And yeah, be on the cruise. We had a great time on the cruise, and funny you should mention that. So let's just show one of those great pictures. That was, we spent a week on the Carnival Conquest, and we went to the Nassau, Bahamas. We went to Half Moon Cay, and we went to Turks and Caicos. And let me just tell you, if you want to be living the unstoppable life, this is one of the best, most affordable ways. Shameless plug. It is my show. It's one of the most affordable ways to do it. And you and I, Kandi, we did our international speaking creativepreneur at sea cruise last year as well on Royal Caribbean. And people were coming into our event trying to see what was going on. What are those power influencers doing in that room? And that's because we're living our life on purpose. And you are one of those people, one of those trailblazers that show everybody else how to do that. So
one last thing, I've got to say this. Devin is going to kill me. Post Time Grill, 3 to 7 on Sunday is the Influence Me tour. We're going to put the flyer in there, but I wanted to say it out loud. 3 to 7 on Sunday, Post Time Bar and Grill, brunch is included, guys, and we have a discount. If you hit us up today, you can get a $5 discount. If you book it today, you register today, you can get a $5 discount.
Absolutely. And when we send you back to the green room while you're eating up all my shrimp, just go ahead and post that in the feed. And
Thank you.
Get that information. But hey, Kandi, listen, I'm going to give you the last word of when we talk about life after sports, when we talk about moving from past to purpose, when we talk about influencing, being the influencer and influencing others, what do you want to leave with our audience as we wrap it up?
I want the audience to know that they are resilient beyond what they think they can do. And whatever bar that you set for yourself, that you should be salient and know that you can even go higher than that. When you go to church on Sunday, what you normally take away from church is that pastor tells you that God has positioned you as a king, as a queen, to do everything that it is that you want to do and even more. And a lot of times we just put limits on ourselves. And I want us to think that we are unlimited, that we have no limits, we have no boundaries, and that's how we really are going to be. That I hope to influence one person listening to this today, and that they will do the same thing and pay it forward, and that they will carry on and influence their circle as well.
Love it. You are resilient beyond what you can do. Great takeaways from my friend Kandi, KCBizboss, Conda, African-American Hall of Famer, multiple time author. She's helped many people create their books. She's managed many people, and she's doing a phenomenal job with Life After Sports. Check out the information in the feed for Life After Sports Chicago on June 30th and for the Influence Me tour on July 1st here in Chicago. But now, Kandi, suppose they just can't wait. They can't wait this weekend to have a more intimate conversation with you, and they want to get in contact with you right now. How's the best way for them to reach out to you?
They can call me at 312-285.
All right, she putting her phone number out there, y'all. Say it again.
285-8929. Or hit me up on Facebook. I'm in the feed.
Okay. So get in contact with Kandi today, and you can have a more comprehensive conversation on how you can participate in Life After Sports. Maybe you are a pro athlete. Maybe you want to jump on board and bring it to a city near you. Maybe you're a student athlete and you want to connect with her to be mentored by a professional athlete. Now's your opportunity to reach out to the queen herself, Kandi KCBizboss.
And all those moms, all those sports moms who always say they don't know what to do. Their kid wants to play ball. They don't know what college they want. This is for them. Because they call me up and Facebook me, but this is where they need to be.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you, Crystal, for putting that number in the feed. Sometimes my mouth and my fingers don't work well together.
Crystal. Thank you, Devin.
You can reach out to her at the number 312-285-8929 and have a comprehensive conversation with her. Thank you, KC.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Appreciate you. Don't clock out. I'm just going to send you back to the green room, and then we'll talk a little bit more after the broadcast. But for right now, thank you so much, KCBizboss, Kandi, Conda, Life After Sports Chicago. Well, you guys, that is our show, but I would be remiss if I didn't do another shameless plug. You know, we talked about purpose. We talked about moving from your past. You see how Kandi has moved from her past of working from the military, and now she's doing phenomenal things as an entrepreneur. You can do that too. And if you need a little help doing that, then why not purchase a copy of the book, You Are Unstoppable, Moving from Past to Purpose. It is a phenomenal book. It's going to help you, motivate you to leave that stinking thinking of your past behind and to start walking firmly in your purpose. Simply go to www.unstoppablecoaching.com/store and you can order your copy of the book. But as always, I want to leave you with one of my thoughts. As you move into this week, hopefully you will make it a great week. Hopefully you will make it a fabulous week. Hopefully you will recognize that there is life after whatever you're going through, whether you're a victim of domestic violence or whether you're someone who just hasn't figured out what you want to do yet. Kandi told you, you are resilient beyond what you can do and beyond what you know right now. You have unlimited, untapped potential. And if you start thinking and you start living life full so that you can die empty, here's the one thing I know. You will not only be unlimited, you will be unstoppable. That's our time. That's our show. Please come back each and every Tuesday for the Unstoppable Story Show, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. And go ahead and like and share this broadcast. And wherever you are in the world today, don't just make it a great day. Make it an unstoppable day. Take care.